And ta-da!
Hello, everybody. It's so good to see you again here today. I do apologize for us not having an intro song this time. Chris is stuck in traffic, so we're blaming it on Chris.
Or the traffic.
But I am Nastine.
And that would still make me Peter.
And we're the co-founders of Explore Protech Entrepreneurial Haven. And we're here with you and our tribe members every single Monday to bring you some more amazing insights from entrepreneurs all over the world.
And funnily enough, we're on at the same time, which means we have the ability to put it in a schedule, which means people can actually watch at the same time every week.
So we'll be here every single week, same time, same place, where you like to go to just remember what it's like to be an entrepreneur, connect with other entrepreneurs around the world, share your insights, get some new ones. It's a power hour for us entrepreneurs.
And if you're an entrepreneur out there, then this is probably the place to be. Hang out with other entrepreneurs.
Definitely. So please remember to connect with me on the actual YouTube or in the Facebook page. You're more than welcome to chat away, introduce yourself, tell us how you're doing on this fabulous Monday. Also tell us maybe how do you feel about Mondays? Are you one of those Monday magic people where you like can't wait to make some magic on a Monday? Or are you one of those people that's like, oh my goodness, it's Monday, I'm gonna die.
We already made magic today, so
oh my goodness.
we sorted.
Guys, we had some of the most amazing people in the whole entire world join our community today. So we are like on such a high right now. We're so happy to be here.
Illegal
High, yes. Okay, anyway, on that note, so yeah, we usually have a bit of a topic, otherwise you can see how there will be a problem just going off on tangents. So today we are talking about how to build relationships that pay. So our beautiful tribe members are going to be putting up their hands like so. That will cue them onto the screen, and then they'll be able to chat to us about how to do just that, how to build relationships that pay. Every time they chat to us, they'll end with their name, business name, and just a little bit about what they do so that you can get to know them better. Remember, all of their links will be linked in the description right down below. All you have to go and do is click, 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 connect with all of them, and they'll be more than happy to build those relationships with you.
And if you've got something to add in the comments, it's not like you have to be a professional to understand how to start and build relationships. If you have a comment, drop it in the comment section. Let's talk about it. Let's see where it goes.
Awesome. So on that note, I can see our tribe members are super, super excited about this topic. Let's go straight over to the one and only Mr. Levy. How to build relationships that pay.
First of all, Evelyn Gwynn put up her hand before me.
Ooh, how's that? Such a gentleman. Such a gentleman.
She can go first.
So that's
out of deference to Stephen Levy, I put my hand up and then down again, so that would be second. But I am here for you guys. Evelyn Gwynn, Samick Freelance Writing, lead generation specialist, and I help my clients become known as experts in their field. And the best way to build a relationship that pays is to act like you're not looking for a relationship that pays. Well, not really act. To not look for relationships that pay. You want to build a relationship with your clients. You want to give them value. You want to show them that you care for them and that you're interested in what they do and help them to move forward. Afterwards, after you do that, that's the time when you talk about this is what I can do and this is how I can help you. If you go right in, guns blazing, hey, I'm the best super salesperson in the world, you need me. Yeah, that's gonna have not the effect you're looking for at all. Thank you so much. I'm Evelyn.
Thank you, Evelyn. That's absolutely amazing value from you. Love that. Also, just a shout out to Rona and Janine supporting us on the YouTube channel. It's absolutely amazing to have you guys here with us. And Evelyn, that's something that I never actually got. Like, I don't know. I'm such an accountant, which is so interesting to me because you're also an accountant. How on earth did you get so into the business of building relationships?
Because as an accountant, we have to ask the questions, right? It's almost as bad as going to the dentist. We have to ask the questions. And I discovered early that if people are comfortable with you and think of you as a friend, it's much easier to ask those difficult questions that you need to bridge when you're working in accountancy, because you're basically saying, hey, I'm the doctor of your numbers. So go into that room, put the sheet on, because we're going to have a physical, right? And that is so much easier to do if you're in a position of trust with that individual.
I just adore that answer.
Yeah.
I never thought of it that way.
Especially when they do that thing with the glove. Oh, no, thank you.
That's amazing. I love that because I'm also from accounting, obviously. And I remember, I think I went through that exact, but we didn't call it building relationships because, as well, when you're studying to become an accountant, no one tells you it's important to build relationships. Actually, when you're at college, people are like, stop talking to everybody, study more, build, So it's so weird
true.
when you field and you're like, build relationships. Everyone's crazy about building relationships, but why?
The question is why? Is there an answer to that?
I think Mr. Levy might be going to tell us.
I'm pretty sure it's coming. I'm pretty sure.
Thank you so much, Evelyn. Let's go to the Levy.
So good evening, everybody. And yeah, it was an interesting topic. So in answer to the question why, I think build relationships that build trust. Don't worry about, and I loved what Evelyn said, is don't go into the relationship looking to see if it pays. It's because I don't think that's not going to be a sustainable, lasting relationship. So I think the first thing is build relationships that build trust, and then that takes time. So just give time to building the relationship, allow it to happen. And then after that, build relationships that last. So I think then you got strong relationships and the rest will follow from it. So I think, yeah, the pay will be if at all, will be the outcome. And I think important after that is if you feel the connection is to just stay connected, like you encourage on this platform and in this tribe and this community. And yeah, can we stay connected all the time with everybody? Well, the way this tribe's growing, it's virtually impossible. You don't have time, but I think everybody stays connected in their own way. And you can see we can connect every 2 months, 3 months. Marlena I've known for like 6 years. And sometimes we can go 2-3 months without connecting and then connect, and it's like we connected yesterday. And I think that's a relationship that, for me, that's a relationship that pays. She doesn't pay me financially to connect with her. It's a relationship that pays. So I think maybe what came up for me now is, what's the definition of a relationship that pays? Is it always financial?
Oh, okay. I actually really like that. And my thoughts on that is that it's not always financial, because if you can build relationships with the right people and you know them and you understand their skills and their skill sets, it gives you the ability to be strategic, because now you understand if you put some of those people into one space strategically because you understand them based on your relationship, you've just created a space that they can achieve more than you can do on your own.
Yeah.
Which is the method to our madness.
Which is also something I never knew. Like, I can't believe I went through life for like 27 years and I never knew these things. I was always listen implementing. Like seriously, I was listening to those talks, the entrepreneurial motivation stuff, and you just get up and you just do it. And then I figured out leadership was a way that people would build, that the business would run without themselves. So I started listening to those talks, but no one ever said, Nastine, like if you want to build a business that lasts, you're going to have to actually banter in the coffee shop. And that's what you did for me, Peter.
No, if I recall correctly, the words that Nastine used when we first started this space was banter. I'm an accountant. My hourly rate is this. How many hours do you expect me to banter for?
I literally think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, if I can add one more thing to that, Justine and Peters, is also the relationships. If you look at the community again on the tribe, like the WhatsApp group, it's also, the relationships start. So I'm going to use another example with Janine. I mean, Janine's amazing. And we've chatted, but again, we also don't like chat that often, but I kind of chat with Janine because I see her comments on the WhatsApp group. So there is engagement and interaction there without interacting, if that makes any sense. So you see the comments and you see what people are thinking, and it keeps everybody connected. So I think that's also another form of relationships within a big community.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. That's Stephen from Dare to Be Coaching and Beyond.
The best leadership coach in the world. You forget to end with that every time. We'll work on that, Mr. Levy.
Thank you, Nastine Buiter.
Also, Rona saying, love that, Stephen Levy. In touch with your sensitive side there. I thought of happiness straight away. Are you doing something you enjoy? I think that's beautiful. Also, welcome to Lisecha, who joined us today. Woohoo! And is already on the YouTube channel watching this very show, building relationships with all of you just by watching for an hour. I mean, that's amazing, right? Also, well done to Rona, because I think I should just become like a sports host now, because I'm just narrating the YouTube channel. But this is so cool, because what Rona actually did on the YouTube channel, guys, she was like, she welcomed Lisecha because she knows he's new, right? So she's like, welcome to the coffee shop conversation show, Lisecha. She's turning herself into a host. Isn't that cool? Rona, you're amazing. We love you. We love you so much. And that's a tribe working together. Those are relationships that pay.
Is building a relationship.
Yep.
Yeah. It's really amazing to me. I mean, I still remember, I'll share with you guys a quick little story, since we are a more intimate group today, so we have time for stories. But I also want to see if we can do a round 2 as well. But so quick story. The first time, because I thought about this today, right? When I had to come up with a topic for today's show. The first time I ever really clicked how to build a relationship, I'm not even joking, was I still remember getting this WhatsApp call from Stephen Westwood, right? Now, Stephen Westwood is the type of copywriter that I would have to sell my house in order to be able to pay him for one case study. Okay, so he's also the type of copywriter that would never talk to me before when I was just an accountant, because I don't know, those types of people just weren't interested in hearing about the offer that I had to do their books. I mean, you can imagine going out there and leading with, hi, I'm an accountant. I'd like to do your books. It's like the best conversation starter ever. If you go to a party, try it. People literally just walk
that's
the other
avoid
way.
you.
So anyway, so he called me. And we were chatting on WhatsApp, and he was asking me business related stuff, and I was answering him because that's my job. And then he asked me something stupid. I can't even remember what it was. It was how was my weekend or something? And I was so taken aback because he was actually interested in the answer. And he kept asking stupid questions like that. And I was like, but the business here is done. Why? I'm not even joking. This is all going through my head. And 45 minutes later, we had the best conversation ever. And I still remember, I put the phone down and I looked at Peter and I was like, is he trying to make friends? And Peter was like,
yes, he's trying to.
And I was like, that is so cool because I'm not someone that has had many friends.
Well, if you fast forward it to now,
That is a relationship that paid big time.
big time.
Holy crap, it just keeps paying.
It's absolutely incredible what you can actually do if you actually just give in to, let's call it the dark side.
It does feel like giving into the dark side because it's like, how on earth could this actually be business related? What I'm doing right now, it's so nice. Like your whole life, people told you like, stop doing that, do the actual work. And now the work it's all confusing and stuff. But anyway, long story short, these days, Stephen Westwood on my phone is literally called Westy Bestie. I can show it to you guys. We're besties now, and it's amazing. That's so cool. Janine, let's hand over to you. You're an amazing, amazing relationship builder and also sales assistant. So maybe that's why. What do you have to say about how to build
Wait.
relationships that pay?
She's not a sales assistant. She's so much more than that.
She's a virtual sales assistant owner and the owner of Explore Virtual Network. That's everything and stuff. And she does a lot of things. And okay, Janine.
Wow, I'm almost blushing right here. Thank you so much for that amazing intro. Hi everyone, I'm Janine Lingenfelder, owner of Jelani Sales. We're a virtual sales office, handling all your sales tasks, making sure that your sales journey is bringing you return on investment. So for me, it comes back to, what does pay mean to you as a person? Is it money? Is it time? And I think as humans, we are so wired to actually have more than one relationship. We are wired to have many relationships. It's a matter of how you do it and with whom you do it with. And I'm assuming by the laughter of Nastine and Peter, it's in agreement with what I'm saying. But what I'm feeling is you need to understand what is the meaning of having that relationship. A relationship is a two-way street as well. It's not just take, or give. It is a two-way street. So when you have your ideas of who you want to build that relationship with, invest, whether it is time or just finding out how is your dog doing. It was in surgery. It's those small things that matter. I had a conversation with Stephen the other day. Listen, how's your wife doing? She was now doing real estate and she sold a house. It's those small human factors that makes the relationship last. Whether it is money, doesn't matter. Money will come. Money doesn't rule the world. It's this entrepreneurial, Explore, Protech tribe members that will rule the world. I'm Janine from Jelani Sales, your virtual sales office.
Wow, guys, Janine, why do we not have you on this show more often? Like, seriously.
You know what it is? It's because she's got the celebrity thing where she's involved in her own show.
Oh, yes.
So
Oh, yes. So we're very lucky today, guys. Janine is in the house. Maybe we'll let you wrap up the show as well. That could be quite cool.
When she meant, you did mean like as in wrap up.
Obviously, I mean, she wraps up by rapping, right?
Wrapping up, yeah. Yes.
That would be cool, Janine. Please, can we do? Please, Janine, come on, please. In the interest of relationships, Janine. Okay.
Oh, wow. I like that. No blackmail here at all. All right.
None at all. But you got some time.
Guys, Rona is saying, as you guys say, relationships first, business later. And that's the coffee first, business later.
Yeah.
That you basically built this tribe on. And again, when Peter started saying the saying, he started with the saying, coffee first, business later. I was listening to this and I was like, I mean, it's catchy, but like, I don't know if it's really gonna catch on. And then I will also never forget this. Mr. Stephen Levy is one of the leadership business coaches that I like. I worship him. Basically, everything he says is just amazing. It's like super business oriented. Like, if you want to be successful in life, you listen to Mr. Levy. That's one of my rules. And he was like the first person to point this out. And he was like, the coffee first, business later. That's really what's going to make this platform successful. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, wait, what? How? But apparently, yeah, so apparently it's very much a part of the culture and the relationships and the way we support each other. And I'm starting to learn more about that.
Well, I think that's because it's a culture. It's not just a saying. It's a thought process. It's a way of making a statement that this is how we do things in this space, and then we attract people that enjoy feeling that culture. So for some people, they would step into the space and go, what a waste of time. You expect me to greet people and say hello to people? Well, then this is not their space. Good for you. Go count sheep somewhere else.
Maybe they just like I was before I got converted.
Oh, okay. I get it now.
Awesome. And it was so funny. It was so funny when the Secha jumped into the WhatsApp group today. It was like, so much coffee, guys. We'll have virtual cappuccinos, frappuccinos, mochachinos. It was so cool. So he's definitely embracing that culture. And Megan Diaz is also saying hi on the YouTube channel. Hi, Megan. Good to see you. Now, let's go over to our favorite podcast person. Oh my goodness, Ethan, is this your first debut on the Coffee Shop Conversation show?
It's my reveal party today.
Let's have it.
Okay, so quick thing, Ethan from Barrett Media here. We help business owners get their message across through content marketing, specifically by leveraging podcasting. So a kind of relationship that we haven't touched on today, and it's kind of become a buzzword in like the media world, but it's the idea of a parasocial relationship. I don't know if you guys are aware of this term. It's this idea that sometimes you have relationships with people who don't actually know you back. Your favorite radio host, your favorite TV personality, your favorite marketing guru, right? You consume their content constantly. You feel like you know this person because they're always listening to them. You're always hearing their message. And this is a concept that I think business owners, like obviously the one-on-one relationships are super incredibly important. It's really like how you're going to be driving a lot of the success of your business. But in the long term, and when you want to scale, especially, you need to be reaching a broader audience, right? You need to be getting content out and having people who may eventually buy from you or who may eventually be leading to business form a relationship with you. And you can't go on 10,000 coffee dates a week, right? You need to get your content out there. So building that parasocial relationship, and it's the same philosophy. You're not going to go straight into an episode of your podcast. Hey, here's my book, buy my book. I'm so impressive, whatever. You're going to demonstrate value. You're going to be yourself. You're going to give them something interesting. And then, over time that develops into a relationship. And then over time that develops into a sale idea. So yeah, don't neglect the content side of the relationship building as well. I know it might be a lot. So yeah, Ethan Baird from Baird Media. We help people make content.
I like that. I think the reason I like it is because we're doing the same thing. We're creating a space where we have a message. Not everybody that follows that message knows us personally, but they may follow our journey and they may follow the conversations. They may follow the space. They may even be following this particular show. And over a period of time, through this space, that develops from the type of relationship you're talking about, Ethan, to the type of relationship that we're talking about. So those two actually run hand in hand. I think that's absolutely brilliant.
I definitely, I feel like that's such an important point, Ethan. Thank you so much for raising it. Because it is very, 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 like, content by itself is super valuable. Then relationships by themselves, like networking, super valuable. When you put those two together, oh my goodness, that's what we've been trying to do from the get-go. It's what we're kind of doing. We are doing it. Yeah.
Yes.
We are doing it. So this whole
Yeah.
This whole show is fueled by and driven by and watched by our tribe members, because it's kind of become part of our culture. It's like what we do on a Monday. And
Mm.
like the show that Janine and Chris do together, the FBIS show, whenever there's a new person on that show, like everyone in the tribe is like, oh my goodness, it was so cool in the FBIS show. I couldn't stop laughing. That is so cool. Like, I feel like we shouldn't underestimate like appearing in content, having our content out there, especially if we can share it on the Explore Protech blog, on the YouTube channel, on each other's YouTube channels. It becomes so valuable because it's just another way that people get to see you and they get to know you and they get to understand your value. Because it's all about clarifying what is your actual value. So I think that is so important as part of the relationship building process.
And we've got value. Come now.
Do we?
Yeah.
I mean,
It just oozes out of me. Can't you see it?
I
Can't you
mean,
see
look
all
at the
value?
people on the screen. Like, they are super amazing, incredible. Like, I have so many friends around the world. It's amazing. For someone that can't banter. Thanks again, Peter. Okay, let's go to Marlena. Marlena, I'm so interested to hear from you. How do we build relationships that pay?
Thanks, Christine, and hello everyone. For me, it starts off firstly with the relationship you have with yourself, because for us to be able to have relationships with others, we have to be fairly comfortable within ourselves, number one, because our resources come from one source, and that's us. Whether yes, you can bring other people on board to do, as Ethan said, now your content is really important, but the creator of that content, especially in the kind of work I do, the creator of the content has to be authentic. Depending on what kind of work space you operate in the world, to me, it's about being vulnerable enough with yourself to understand how you can build relationships with others. And then consistency for me is a really great thing. So that doesn't mean show up every time with a smiley face, the same as don't always show up in a blog or something like that you're having a fantastic day, because you may not be. So it's the reality of relationships. And then for me, it's the most important thing for me about relationship is the ears, because we're listening to the needs of the others, which also comes in your customer relationships space, where we hear what the client actually needs. Or we hear in our tribe what it is that the other person needs. And today it might just be, you want me to listen to how you're feeling. So it's allowing that space. And I agree with everything that everybody said before me. I think those were all the things I made notes as we were talking. All right, so that's me, and my name is Marlena. I'm from Self and More Coaching and Development. So I help people shift their emotions so that they are able to lead a fulfilling life going forward. Thank you.
Stunning, Marlena. I am so happy that you're frequenting these coffee shop shows. Like, there's just pure gold always just comes out of your mouth. And you always say it like so humbly. You're just like, so this is the wisdom that I have for you guys today. It's just beautiful. I definitely agree with the authenticity bit that you mentioned. I mean, showing up as yourself. If you don't show up with yourself, who the hell are people supposed to build a relationship with? Your persona. I hate it, like, and it's so obvious. People think like it's not obvious if they're rocking up with a persona and they're not really themselves. But actually, it's very
so
obvious.
obvious.
Don't do that. That's terrible. Don't do that.
Actually,
Just be yourself.
Actually, it's so obvious that when we meet people for the first time, if we give them the opportunity to come and experience our space, one of our golden rules is show up as yourself. We don't want to meet your persona. We want to actually get to have this time to get to know you. It's one of two most important golden rules within our space. It's the first rule that we actually put in place when people do experience the space, so that when you're introducing people to people, that they're actually arriving just as they are. It's so important.
People don't realize how important So Rona is also saying, what amazing insights, Marlena. Love that. And she also a shout out to Ethan. She said that was so interesting, Ethan. I hadn't heard of parasocial relationships before. So thank you so much for bringing that into the conversation. I also think, Marlena, what you said about listening is so freaking important, right? Don't you just hate it when someone
So what? I wasn't listening.
When someone connects with you on LinkedIn
Oh.
and you keep telling them this thing and then they're like, yes, but anyway, buy the book. You know, it's so
Yeah.
irritating.
You know, we've actually had a situation once before where we were in I think it was a global online speed networking event, and somebody had arrived, paid for a ticket, and they were so determined to sell their book that, and because the event is more about relationship building, somebody had, in one of the breakout sessions, had confided to everybody that they had recently suffered loss, and everybody in the space was like, oh my goodness me, let's just be supportive. And that one individual was like, well, if you buy my book now for $99.99, I deal with, and 100%, everybody in the space was disgusted. Instead of just going, oh my goodness me, you know what? I feel for you. If you need to reach out or you need to have a conversation, please feel free. Actually, you know what? Let's schedule a coffee and have a conversation. It would have been as easy as that, but you can see the intention shine through on that fake persona where it's like, buy my book, buy my book. The person was so invested in pushing that he'd even had somebody else buy a ticket to support him in arriving, going, you have to buy the book, you have to buy the book. And do you think he sold any? Zero, absolutely zero. The people in the space that were like, oh my goodness me, you know what? I've actually been through this before. And yes, I've experienced something similar. We can get together. Let's just get together and have a cup of coffee and have a conversation. The real people delivered real value in just by showing up as who they are. It's so simple.
The one thing I'll also say is don't be afraid, because I used to be like, I would see that person and I would not like it, but then I would be afraid of like not doing business with them because, you know, like business is scarce and the scarcity mindset and the whatever. Don't be scared to get away as far away as possible from those people, because you have so many good ones out there that are ready to support you and do business with you and love you and make it a pleasure to like just get into that abundance mindset. And then if you can't find nice people to work with, come this way. We got many. We've been just finding them for 2 years now, and it's been amazing the people that we've been able to
We've met some
find.
amazing people.
Guys, the next thing I want to do in this coffee shop show is give some advice out there to imagine like you find a little baby Nestine out there right now. She's probably like 24 to 27. She doesn't know what a relationship is. She's never had one. She's always just studied. She's very clued up and qualified in what she does, but she doesn't know how to actually build a relationship and why. So you still need to convince her, like, why do you need to build a relationship? Can we do that? I feel like that would be so valuable. So for all the new baby Nestines out there, can you just tell them, how do you build a relationship and why?
Wow.
I can give a tip, so I can start it off. So my first thing that I would say is, because there's lots of baby Nestines joining the network, by the way. Not everyone that comes in knows how to build relationships or why. It's some of us take it for granted, and not all of us have actually grown up with that or have been instilled with that. So what I would say is, the first thing, if you're like super scared of people and maybe you're a little bit of an introvert and maybe you have limited time as well, right? Because you're doing everything by yourself, let's face it. You don't have relationships, you're probably working like 18 hours a day. But just come to one of our events or find some other events where you feel comfortable with the people that are there and just hang out. Like literally just hang out, just be in the space. Just because you're in the people's space, they will naturally start to go like, ooh, who's this person? They'll put out feelers, and before you know it, you'll have your Stephen Westwood phoning you and forcing you to tell them like how your weekend was. And you'll wonder what's going on, and all of a sudden you'll have friends. So that would be my tip. So can we put our hands up? Who has more tips for the baby Nesteens out there? Mr. Levy.
Yeah, it's amazing. I was just thinking, casting my mind back to when we started. And so I don't know, I'm not going to mention those, but she's also an accountant. And there were a couple of them. So she was also a baby Nesteen. And came into, when you first started, sorry, the coffee shop and Explore Protech, just allowing them to come on and living your culture of coffee first and business later. And you expressly said to everybody, just show up. You made people feel comfortable showing up as who they are, and you kind of pushed that, or lived it, should I say. And there are two people that really come to mind that I saw just shift out of their shell into just becoming such an integral part of this tribe. And that relationship paid, not only financially, I think deeper than that. But it was amazing to watch that transformation. So just the platform and allowing them to come here, and the culture of Explore Protech allowed them to build relationships and step out of their shell and be who they are, and probably even go to what Marlena said, is have a relationship. We're confident in having a relationship with themselves.
Yeah, I'll be brutally honest. Some of those relationships within this space, we could not function without them. Point blank. And I'll mention names. Somerville could not function without it. Megan Deers could not function without it. Chris Colby, goodness me, could not have functioned without it. And the list goes on. There's so many of them out there. Janine, Mr. Levy,
Megan Deers, Ryan De
Castro. Like it just doesn't stop. Those relationships are relationships that we have nurtured. And they've done exactly the same thing. They have nurtured relationships with us. And then to top it off, everybody in the space have nurtured relationships with each other. For us as a space to take what has built in and show the power of what it is, we can do that by showcasing how long it took us to build the Fempreneur course. It took from marketing to web development, from beginning to end, and 11 global coaches, and it took how long to put together? 9 weeks.
I don't know. I think Rona's gonna let us know.
Rona can let us know in the chat on YouTube. But those guys as a team, based on the relationships that they built,
like holy crap.
I mean,
like I was just watching all the emails they put into the email software now. I mean, I don't even know email software, but there's like 300 freaking emails in there. It is insane, and they're all beautifully branded, stunningly written. It's like, how did you guys even do all of this? This is amazing. And that's just the emails.
And it's absolutely incredible. That's the power of a space where it's not just a service provider to customer relationship. It's more than that.
Much more.
It's a space where the relationships go in every direction. So you have a relationship with your graphic designer, you have a relationship with your web developer, you have a relationship with your podcast specialist, you have a relationship with your audio.
Yes.
Goodness me, Kenton, you rock. You have a space that you know the people to the point where if you want to achieve something, you're achieving it with the relationships that you have. It's priceless.
Rona says she's having a transformation just being part of this tribe. That's so beautiful, Rona. That's absolutely amazing. Let's hear from Ethan. Ethan, what's your advice for the baby Nesteens out there?
So I'll be quick because there's a lot of people in the queue. But one of the questions you asked was why build relationships? So as somebody who is like introverted, would prefer to be behind the scenes. I don't like, having to do the social interaction drains me instead of energizes me. That's the definition of an introvert, right? I can tell you that if you go into networking meetings, one-on-ones, whatever, with the idea of this has to be a sale, you will destroy your soul. It is so terrible. It feels awful. Every meeting feels like a failure because you didn't sell, and you just don't want to do it anymore. And 2 weeks later, you're not talking to anybody, you're not doing anything. Whereas trust me, because I've done this, it sucks. And you also become known as that person who's trying to pitch constantly instead of someone who's interesting that people might want to work with. Whereas if you're networking and whatever your relationship building, it really just comes from the point of, oh, who is this person? Let me get to know them. Let's chat about stuff. It's so much fun. Like I could do way more in a day if I know that I'm just going to go into this without a lot of preconceptions. I want to find out more about them. Maybe there's something interesting here. Maybe there isn't. You'll be surprised how much more fun that is than like what it feels like to me, like the networking version of doing cold calls. It's just my absolute nightmare.
Yeah, like those events where you get to arrive and do an elevator pitch, you just pray that you go first so that you can leave.
Okay, let's hand over to Marlena next. Marlena, your advice.
All right. So for me, for a baby nesting, coming into it would be, your trade or your type of business. But have you ever been out at sea without any help? And that's to me what relationships are about. And that's for me, that's the importance of having relationships, because these relationships or people that you build relationships with become your crew. And they will help you in the directions that you may not know which direction to go in or have that particular skill. So whether you be the introvert or the extrovert, which I hear, Ethan, because I actually wrote that introvert and extrovert part, because for the extroverts, it's easy to connect, but for the introverts, maybe not so much. So this is a way to put your hand up and actually ask for the assistance that you need. Thank you. I'll hand over. Thank you.
I like that.
Thank you, Marlena.
And just to be clear, we've actually really investigated the difference between introverts and extroverts, and we've actually realized that if we're creating team, we need them both equally. If you have an entire team of just extroverts, good luck. You need those people that are going, hold on a second, I may be in the background, but have you thought of this? But everybody else is too busy being extroverted and going, oh yes, and it creates this space of everybody's gung-ho, but nobody knows which direction they're going in. But when you take a well-balanced team, where you have the extroverts and you have the introverts, and the extroverts are going, actually, let's just stop for a second, let's just pay attention here, because what's going to happen right here is dynamic. And the introverts, they filter that information through, and then it gives direction to the people that are actually going to go, you know what, that's brilliant, let's go. Now we're all going in the same direction. So if you want a balanced team, please don't build it out of just extroverts. Balance it.
Marlena said something super interesting in the chat. She just always gets me. She's just like you. She said, introverts can become extroverts when they feel safe. Relationships create safety. How interesting is that? Because I am actually the world's greatest introvert. But like,
no.
On
I beg
this,
to differ.
on
I am the world's greatest introvert.
But on this platform, when you guys are here and Peter's here and we're all allowed to be ourselves, I'm like,
to the point, when we met one of our members in person, we went to an event and we ended up sitting in a corner and watching everybody. We were quite happy.
okay,
and
Chris is a real extrovert.
And their response was, are you guys okay? Because you're not talking. And we were like, we're fine.
We're very happy.
We're very happy.
We don't really talk that much, actually.
Normally.
Yeah. Speaking of not talking, can we please give Evelyn a chance?
She has to have a chance. It's a show.
Evelyn, please go for it.
I have two enduring business beliefs. Number one, it truly takes a village to bring out all of your strengths and everything that you have to share. Secondly, everyone has a talent that they're responsible for sharing. So this is why you need to get in, and build relationships, even if it makes you uncomfortable, because you have an obligation to share your strengths with the rest of the village. And so you need to get out there and you need to do that. And if you're not sure how to do that, because I remember those days too, imagine what the other person would want from you. And then, just kind of start there. Just imagine where they are and what they need and just start there. Thank you.
So we're going to need to build a village for our tribe.
Are you going to build an actual village? Because that would surprise me.
I wouldn't. It's possible. It's possible.
Oh my goodness, guys, stay tuned. Janine, let's move over to Janine. She's been shoved into many of these villages and stuff.
But I love it. I love it every minute. For all the little Nestines out there, why build relationships? Well, it's easy. It increases your happiness. What is your happiness worth? It increases your happiness. It improves your health. I can promise you this. There's so many people that will say the same thing, that it increased my health and improved it. And guess what? It reduces stress. It really does. Because you are collaborating, you are sharing what you are feeling, because the other person is probably sitting in the corner. I'm like, I'm not going to talk to her because she looks like this. Well, I'm not going to talk to her because no, talk to one another. It is the most beautiful thing in the world, is to build relationships. And some tips with regards to the how, well, take the time. Listen when the other person is speaking. If you need to make notes. But please listen and make the time. It is so, so important. And I think empathy is another tip, a big tip when it comes to building relationships. I'm Janine from Jelani Sales, your virtual sales office.
Oh, we love you so much, Janine.
You know what I just realized?
What?
That building relationships with people that are from different cultures and in different areas of business increases your intellect.
Yeah, duh. We're so much smarter than what we were 2 years ago. I'm not even joking.
We meet and build relationships with multiple people from multiple industries from around the world.
It's really cool.
And we build a relationship with them. And as we're building that relationship, there's that thing of just that wealth of knowledge that just filters through. And the more you actually look back at it, you start making decisions based on what you've learned and that understanding. It's really
valuable.
Really valuable.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I feel like we've been through the mother of all entrepreneurial courses, but it's because we've been hanging out and trying to keep up with these guys on the screens.
100%.
It was really amazing. Also, Megan Deere is saying that she loves what you said, Evelyn. Thank you so much for sharing. Let's move to Kenton. Kenton, is this the first time that you're going to speak on the coffee shop?
No.
Is it the second time?
Second time, I think. Hello, everybody.
Nice.
My advice for the young Nestines and such is not to have any preconceived expectations when going into meeting someone or networking, or meeting someone for the first time. It kind of ties into what Ethan said as well. Don't feel like you have to make a sale, or you have to give a referral, or you have to do this. Just go into it being completely open to anything, and don't be afraid of the gray. Not everything's black and white. You might be going into a meeting thinking you're meeting someone that's interested in purchasing something from you. It turns out you guys have this mutual relationship with someone else, or he knows someone that you might get along with, and next thing you know, you're meeting that person. It blossoms into something you didn't even know was possible. So don't have any expectations aside from just showing up and being 100% yourself. And don't be afraid of the gray. Don't be afraid of ideas that come from it, because that's where the magic really happens.
Stunning, stunning. And you are Kenton
Kenton with Peach Jam Records.
Oh, yes, please.
Nice.
I love one of those.
Helping brands find their signature sound.
Yes, yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kenton. That was amazing. I think not having preconceived ideas is such a valuable thing to remind yourself of.
Well, if you think about it, and I actually really like that was highlighted, because if you have a preconceived idea, you limit your thinking as to what the possibilities could be. And like Kenton was saying, that open-mindedness and it can lead to so much more.
Don't be afraid of the gray. Or in our case, like the palette of colors that just like spill over each other.
Exactly.
I love it. I mean, our tribe song was basically born out of gray, right, Kenton? And now, guys, you're going to love this. We're going to produce a tribe song together, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. All the musicians are going to be entrepreneurs. If you still want to get in touch with that or involved in that, you need to get in touch with Kenton. He's your person, also one of the best sound producers in the whole entire world. So that's going to be absolutely epic. And yeah, we look forward to, maybe, I don't know, maybe we embrace the gray and then Explore Protech band is born and we do like parodies and stuff. I don't know, we'll see.
Don't quit your day job. I was in a band.
Where are you now?
It doesn't usually turn out the way you think it's going to.
Does this mean you're going to be in our band?
I was going to be famous one day.
Guys, this has been such a fabulous coffee shop show. Before we say goodbye, though, someone that pitched up, Darlene, you're amazing. You're always on here. Do you have anything to say to our people about how to build relationships that pay?
No. Darlene Petrie, Scam Prevention International. You know, I always have lots to say, like you say, within the people that you know, like, and trust. And so with you guys, I always have lots to say. And to say that is something that I don't normally speak at, you know, if I don't have to speak, I don't. And so to be able to be part of this network, to be able to be, I think I should have just stuck with my no. My brain is scrambling right now. See what I mean? I can just be me. And that's the nice thing about this beautiful tribe is I get to be me. And that's what's important about networking and getting to know the people and you know, like I don't have without the tribe, how do people move on? How do they move forward? How do they learn new things? How do they gain wisdom? Because from this, you're not just learning knowledge, you're also learning wisdom. And you're building your connections across the globe. Like I live in Canada. You know, and Kenton lives in Canada, and I'm not sure everybody else says. Evelyn lives in Canada. Like, you know, we're surrounded by we're surrounded by all these beautiful people. So thank you, Darlene, Scam Prevention International.
Oh, she's so modest. You know what the thing is about Darlene, right? She just arrived. That's it. She arrived, and then because she was just herself, in a space where she felt safe to be herself,
everybody loves her.
People got to see who she is, and then they all just love her.
Yeah, I mean, Janine and Rona on the YouTube channel are basically starting a Love Darlene club.
Yeah, Darlene is awesome. Must arrange another coffee.
Just love Darlene. She's such a gem. So yeah, Darlene, you're the queen of building relationships and soon to be the Oprah Winfrey of scam prevention. Can't wait for that either. So yeah, thank you for showing up and showing us how to do it in practice by just being yourself.
Well, see, that's the nice thing about this space is generally people don't, especially if you in regards to business, people don't know that building relationships is the right way to go. And some people don't see that building relationships is the right way to go. And there's this big divide between business and relationships, and some people go, well, it's not really necessary, it's just business.
The first thing people will usually tell us is they'll say, like, I have friends.
Good for you.
Why am I hanging out with these people? I already have friends.
So what this space is designed to do is to create a space where people can comfortably step into a space, be themselves, learn, grow, teach, build. That's what this space is. And it's created by, well, some of the people on the screen are part of this creation. So
Talking about these gorgeous humans on the screen, all you have to do to connect with them is go down to the description on this video and look for their LinkedIn links. Click, 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 click. It's all down below. All you have to do is click and connect because we've done all the hard work for you. These are all the beautiful people, and definitely some people worth building relationships with.
And we have taken our time in building relationships with the right people. So go test the waters, click on their links.
Also, to those people that always tell us, but I already have friends, why should I hang out with these people? To you guys, I personally want to say, if you already have such amazing friends, why isn't your business doing better? I'm sorry, but like, hello. It's about having the right friends, the friends that will support you. And at the end of the day, you're going to see that in your bottom line. So
hopefully not my bottom line.
Guys, that's it from us for now. We will be back again next week, same time, same place, with the Coffee Shop Show for entrepreneurs, connecting entrepreneurs from around the world with each other, sharing insights, being friends, making friends. That's what it's all about.
Yep.
We love you, and we will see you again next week. We're off now to go build our tribe song with Kenton. That's going to be awesome.
Oh, yes.
See you guys next week. May all your wildest entrepreneurial dreams come true.
Ta-da.
Bye.